Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called When the Bell Rings. This happened years ago when I was working at a print shop. The printing presses I used to run were the flexo type, basically rubber plates wrapped around a cylinder, each with a different color. This particular press I used to run had probably 200 to 300 feet of paper going through the machine at all times. While they were not too difficult to operate, they were hard to set up. Every color had to be set up and synced, along with the cutting die for the particular label we were making. Once up and running, you had to make minor adjustments to the timing of the color plates and the die. I have to say that these machines were pretty temperamental to just get right. Once you stopped the press, the tension of the paper would change slightly, throwing the timing off. Every time the press stops, it usually means 200 to 300 feet of wasted paper, on a good day. Knowing this, we used to take our breaks and lunches whenever we had to change the massive paper rolls, 5 to 7k feet. Lo and behold, new management came in. They started off by timing our every move with a stopwatch, from setting up dies to cleaning between jobs. They had a meeting after about a week to let us know that things were out of control. They could not tell when somebody was going to lunch or breaks, so they would install a loud bell that would ring, indicating break times. Every employee in this shop had been there for a minimum of 10 years, myself being the exception. One older operator told me other management had been trying something similar and to just play along. The very first day, on the first shift, 9 AM, the bell rings, so everyone shuts the machine off and goes on break, come back from break and start the press. This meant 10 presses were wasting a ton of paper to get the thing on sync again, 12 PM again, and so forth. I couldn't tell you for sure, but this power move cost them a lot of production and product. I left shortly after. I talked to a guy that still works there. Apparently, in the last 15 years they tried the same move 4 times, each time going back to how things were before. The next story is called I Don't Need You. In my mid-20s, I worked in accounting with 4 other mid-20s guys. We were a solid, well-oiled machine that ran flawlessly, and yet we had way too much work and needed an extra person. We had taken over in 1 year from the previous team, who seemingly quit for no reason. At the end of the second quarter, we crushed through the mountain of work with a collective 4 weeks of overtime between us. The boss was happy and allowed us to finally go on vacation. More like he knew we had accumulated too many recovery days. And he gave us the bonus we were promised if we reached the goal. We've been unhappy with the situation for some time and have been talking about it. Clearly there's enough work to justify hiring an extra person, so we go tell the boss. As soon as we explain why we are asking for an extra person, he goes ballistic. How dare we, employees who are terrible at our jobs, dare ask for an extra hand when all we do is mess around for the entire day and we are costing him money. In his screaming, he points to the door and says, "I'm not holding you hostage. If you are unhappy, I suggest you walk out." We are stunned. What the heck did he just say? We came in to ask for help and he's telling us to leave? We asked him to explain what he means. He literally says, "I don't need you. I don't need any of you. Quit if you don't like it." I wish I could say we did, but we were stunned because we thought since we had crushed our workload we would be in his good graces. So we shut up and let him continue his tirade. Come January, crunch time is coming. Boss gathers the entire company in a meeting room and goes on to explain how we are horrible brokers and can't do anything properly and we are costing him money. He then goes on to say the company made 1000% profit compared to last year. If we are so bad at our jobs, how can we multiply profits? He goes on to say that from now on, no more bonuses, because we are bad workers and we are expected to stay in the office until our work's done, no matter how long that may be. No exceptions. Whoever doesn't comply will get fired. He reminds us that he can replace us at any moment and that we need to prove we deserve our jobs. The thing is, I knew I was one of the best employees there. And so, tired of his behavior and extremely scared of the mountain of incoming work, I get up and just say, "I quit." Boss doesn't understand what I mean and continues his meeting while I go to clear my desk. I've cleared my desk by the time he's finished the meeting, and while I'm rocking out past him, he understands what I'm doing. He immediately starts yelling that I'm abandoning my post and that it's unprofessional and there will be consequences. I'm calm because I had already made up my mind. We are in front of everyone, including the rest of my team. I simply tell him, "Boss, we all heard you say that I'm free to leave at any point because you don't need me. Isn't that right, guys?" No one answers, of course, because they are all, boss included, stunned that the nice guy who's always polite and keeps his head down is being assertive. Before boss gets a chance to snap out of it, I tell him that he mistook my tact and diplomacy for acceptance and that I'm only doing what he said. Maybe he should choose his words carefully next time. The rest of the team quit within 3 months. They spent their time at work looking for other jobs anyway. The other teams quit within 12 months. And he was bought out within 16 months because most clients had stopped paying and sued him, since he had no one to do the actual work. All because he thought he can say something so stupid. The last story is called Great Customer Service. I worked in the number 3 office supply chain in the country. Small flex, as there were only 3 office supply chains at the time. Well, I had one of those district managers that went to district manager school and did all the district manager things. You know, sending emails with random words in bold, different fonts, colors. The dude was a company man. Corporate had released a new policy about how we should set the standard for customer interaction. Express interest in them on a unique level. If they are wearing a sports team hat and you know the team, say, "Hey, great game last night," right? The general idea was to personalize the experience, don't just sound like an NPC in a video game saying the same lines again and again to everyone. Well, Mr. District Manager guy living close to our store popped in the day of the store meeting where this was all announced and decided to encourage us and lead by example. That's actually pretty cool of a DM to do. But he also had a history of throwing tantrums and we were like the bad news bears of the district, so it was more treating us like little kids. It felt more condescending than anything. Mr. District Manager interpreted the new policy to be talk to the customer like they are your best friend. We roleplayed and he would berate employee after employee to get it right. Roleplaying in retail is always awkward. And this isn't a theater troupe. They aren't trained actors. The majority of the staff is first-time job high school kids and part-time college kids. I was the latter. Our performances were not Hollywood. But he wanted Hollywood. And me? I'm a sarcastic clown who loves having a little fun. The kind of guy that practices making ridiculous faces in the mirror so I can try them out on unsuspecting friends later. I love an audience. Don't give me an excuse to be ridiculous. So the store opens at 8 AM. Customers start coming in and Mr. District Manager is still there, watching our performance and rating us, but not being as loudly snide in front of the customers. Finally, it's my turn and he's once again repeating out loud. Remember, you need to treat the customer like you would treat your best friend walking into your house. I recognized the customer who walked in, an old guy in his 60s we gave the nickname Reno, and I know he heard every word Mr. District Manager said. Reno is one of our favorite customers. You are about to understand why. Reno walks right up to me. I say, "Hey dude, what's up?" Reno says, "You know man, same crap different day, right?" I say, "Tell me about it. My district manager has been a real pain lately with some dumb new idea that's probably going to blow up in his face." Reno laughs. "Sounds about right. Hey, I need to get some folders for a presentation for the condo association. Know where those are?" I say, "Back of the store. Find them yourself dude, I'm not your servant." Reno says, "Fair enough. Think your manager buddy has figured out how stupid this is yet?" I say, "I don't know man, he's not that bright." Reno laughs, loud as he is prone to. Then he takes a step to my district manager and then gives him a big slap on the arm. The kind of slap that ends up with his hand gripping the arm up high by the shoulder. He stares him in the eyes, gives his shoulder a small shake and says, "I think he'll figure it out. He doesn't want to make the store's best customer angry." And Reno walks off. Mr. District Manager is beet red angry. If he would have been a cartoon, there would have been steam. He breathes and practically hisses through clenched teeth, asking, "Just what the heck was I trying to pull?" I try to play shocked. "What? You said treat him like my best friend and Reno practically lives here." I got written up again that day. Worth it. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.